What up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. Let's jump right into it. I want to first, before I get started, I want to give a shout out to my homeboy Zoe Madden. You always see him in the comment section of just about every video that I make. And that's why I want to give him a shout out. This brother has been with me pretty much from day one. I don't remember when he subscribed. I know it was early on. And he is a supporter of everybody that he fools with. He don't just rock with just my channel. A lot of people that I have met through his channel, a small community, and he supports all of them. He shows up on their live, he shows up in their comment section, and I just want to really give a shout out to Zoe Madden. Thanks, brother, for being there for me. And may God, the universe, nature, providence, may it opens up his hand and bless you for just being the good brother that you are. I did a video earlier this morning, part one of reasons why women cheat. And I thought I was going to be able to put the two main reasons from my experience and people that I know. So I wasn't going by, psychological, philosophical view. I wasn't doing none of that. I was just going by the people that I know, situations that I know firsthand, men that I know that it has happened to, women that I know that have done it. And I was only able to get through one. So if you haven't seen that video, it will be the one right before this one in order on my channel, Reasons Why Women Cheat. The first one I gave was women who may have been raised in an environment where they did not get attention and became, in their teenage, youthful years, very promiscuous, became pretty much a 304, and later on got married and realized, one man is not going to be able to give the attention of what 4 or 5 or 6 guys was able to do. The average woman don't really want to have two men, not trying to be graphic, but inside them, during the same time frame. Most women kind of want that space between. So they don't really want to deal with two men at one time, unless there's, good uses of protection or whatnot. But, 304s, they move a little different. And when you come up in that kind of environment, atmosphere, based on the attention that you may not have gotten from your parents, it can put a strain on your marriage. So that was all in the first one. If you don't get healed and do what you got to do and get restored correctly. On this one, it's going to be very similar. Because even between the time that I made the first one till now, this one actually came to my mind too as one that also carries a lot of weight. And what I have also seen is a woman will get married to a guy, and let's say let's just say a woman was in relationships that was very toxic, and let's just assume that it was the guys, for the sake of this argument, let's just assume that it was always the guy's fault, right? Because that's generally what it turns out to be, based on who tells the story, that it's always the guy's fault. So let's say that she was in a toxic relationship or bad relationships or whatever the reason, they did not work out. And over a period of time, not that she was like the first one. So this one is not necessarily promiscuous, but this one is a high level freak. Now y'all understand what I mean in the street term of freak. This is one who knows how to do things in the bedroom at a very high level, higher than, the average woman. I would say this one here, she's a freak. That's what guys want. They want the freak. They want that freaking laid in the street, freak in the bed. This one here is a super duper freak, for real. She can do anything. She could take the truck forward. She could take the truck backwards. She could spin it, make it go in reverse. She could turn a deuce and a quarter. She can ride a Harley. She can do all those things. She can do a Papa Willie with a Kawasaki. She can put on the front wheel, have the back wheels up in the air. She can do whatever she need to do. She can get in the Nova, hit the gas, make the front end come up heavy as that engine is. She can still do it. That's this woman. She can do it, don't matter. And how, car, whatever, top of hotel, swimming pool, don't matter. Mom and dad house, don't matter. Shower, y'all get what I'm saying. The wash is dry, don't matter. Nothing is off limits with this. Super freak, not promiscuous, just super freak. So she has had some practice, but she has perfected her skill, high level. And then she dates a guy because of her bad relationships. She goes towards a guy who has a better character, who is a little more concerned, who's a little more thoughtful concerning her. And remember, in relationships, because they're built to where you have to grow together, relationships require a lot of work, and it should be where you grow and understand one another together. So in a perfect world, we're not in that world anymore. So I'm not, listen, I understand the world that we live in. But in a perfect world, that's why two virgins would want to marry one another, because you have to explore one another out the gate and actually find out what each one likes. You see what I'm saying? By the time you get in this society, in this age, everybody done been with 10, 15, 100, 200 people and got all this, all these experiences going on. Somebody may come in lower or higher and trying to match, and then it gets it's a little different now. You just kind of get in where you fit in now. But in a perfect world, two virgins will get married. So this lady now will find a man with character, right? In other words, the relationship she's looking for is no longer a toxic relationship, but she's a freak. But the dude that she goes towards, watch this. This happens. I've seen this happen on several occasions. The dude that she leaned towards is not as high in the sexual activity scale as she is. But in the dating process, right? When they're dating, that don't stick out to her, because what she's looking for from him is his love, attention, affection, how he communicates. He makes me feel oh so great. And then you loving on him, and you so thankful for him, and you don't have to cry no more at night. You don't have to get lied to no more. And all these things are so wonderful. And then he doesn't know of you, because you ain't gonna really tell him that, that side of you. You kind of keep that side, of yourself. You kind of, especially as a woman, you're gonna play to the level of competition. So if y'all are in the bed before marriage, you realize real quick his experience is, as far as what he's able to do, capable of doing, know how to do, is probably on maybe a low level, because in relationships you have to sacrifice normally somewhere. That's just the way it is. Nobody is perfect. No relationship is perfect. So you're going to have to take a sacrifice. In this one, the woman will have to take a sacrifice. So she play at his level of competition. And then later on, they get married. Now, you're in a marriage, and months is going by, a year or two go by, and within you as the woman, she know she's still a freak. She still likes to get handled a certain way. And she tell her man up front, I need you to do this, I need you to do that. It's just not in them. It's one of them things where I say, I guess you can learn if you want to, but me, the way I see things in life, it's like you can't teach. You can tell him, but if he ain't that dude, he can't transform into that dude. And even if he did exactly what you told him to do, it wouldn't mean the same, because he wouldn't have the energy of that dude. This is why women like the bad boys, because they bring that kind of energy to the table. When they come through, they're gonna come through and call them out their name. They're gonna come through and step on their kids' toys and leave the kitchen a mess. They're gonna come through and eat up all their food. But the pounding that them women get from them guys and the activity level that they get, that's what they like. That energy. That energy makes them think, y'all seen baby boy. Yeah, y'all seen him. He came in there and tore her behind up. And then next thing you know, she in there cleaning the house, picking up the pizza boxes. He talking about make me something to eat and all this and that. It's that energy. So if this lady now married, and I've seen this, if this lady now marries a guy who don't have that kind of energy, but all of his other aspects of him is complete, it may not take that long before she starts to say, I need something else. He's not tickling the bottom of my bucket. Yes, yes, I'm not. Don't worry, don't worry. I ain't going too far on this, but y'all know what I'm talking about. He's not doing it for me. And then in that moment, she can forget, and I've seen it happen, all the other things that he brings to the table. And in a moment of selfishness, she could call up Jody, who she know can bring it the way she need it, because he's always been able to give it to her in a certain particular type way. She call up Jody, and then the next thing you know, she's in an affair and in a situation because she was a freak that married a non-freak. I got a home boy right now that I warned, don't do it. She is too far beyond where you at. Cause we knew this person. He didn't want to listen. I said, man, listen, you ain't there. She used to dealing with straight up for real type. No, man, no, but I mean, okay. And I ain't talking about just her being permitted. I'm just talking about what I knew she was gonna be like. He did it, and now he has to learn. He has to live with the decision that he made because he know I can't. I'm not able to give her what she's looking for. And their how can I put this for you too? Their intimacy schedule, time, whatever you want to call it, is almost twice a month because he not able to give her what she's looking for. And the truth be known, she probably stepping out. Truth be known. So this is just one. This is another reason why I feel again, I'm going back to something that I said before. There are 1,000 reasons why people cheat. At the end of the day, we can all say it's just an act of selfishness. I understand that. I'm with that. I agree with that. This video was just to point out some because it was sent to me by email. What is my perspective or experience on women that cheat? What are the reasons that I think that they do it? So I'm just making a video to respond to the email. The first one, because they grew up very promiscuous and they needed the attention. The second one, they were very freaky and they married a man that was not as freaky as they are. And over time, once the newness wears off of the good character and the good. Now, some women, this ain't for all, but this is the ones I know. Some women have been wise enough to realize, intimacy ain't everything, and I'm gonna take that sacrifice because of what else I'm getting. Right? I'm getting the security. I'm getting the provision. I'm getting the love. I'm getting a man that will go to church with me. I'm getting a man that will pray. I'm getting a man of knowledge, of understanding, of wisdom. I'm getting a family man. I'm getting a man that I don't mind raising kids with him, or he's gonna, he don't mind helping me with what I got going on. So a lot of women, when they've gone through enough stuff, they can see, okay, I may have to tuck in all this freak to deal with him, and maybe I just bring him on a little bit at a time, and maybe we can expand his capacity that way. Some women do that, but others they at the end of the day, like I said, once the newness wear off, they're gonna want to be toe up, and if that thing ain't kept on the wraps, I've seen them step out to get what they need or what they felt like they needed through through intimacy somewhere else. So anyway, get in the comments, let me know, have y'all seen this? Let's talk about it and y'all be good. Peace.